Hello humans of the universe, heroes, villains, and everything in between. I'm a Pokemon. Today I'm going to show you how to paint custom Joker Tyranids. So I speed painted all of these different Tyranids here that I have here just over a weekend, and it was really quick and easy. I didn't do too much highlighting or anything like that, so they don't look like super clean cut, but if you wanted a more in-depth kind of view on how to paint the kind of highlights or something, I could do something like that. I don't know, but this is just a really quick speed paint for the colors and how to paint them on and what to do. If you want another Tyranid video, I was thinking of painting my Bloodlord. I'm not really sure what to do with him, but I've been wanting to paint him for a while. Sorry if you hear any whining in the background. It's my dog. So step 1, colors. Here are your colors. I get mine from Vallejo or from Games Workshop. Here's the Vallejo. This is just white. It's called, yeah, it's rotten white. It's actually from the effects, but it looks just like normal white. I have a normal white, but this is, whatever. I primed him gray, but you should prime yours white because it would make it a lot easier to paint, but I had gray at the time. This is just a normal purple. Yeah, it's just purple. That's just the name of this color. This right here is for the blood effect. This is the dry blood, and this here is the wet blood, and this is the green. It's just flat green is what the color's called. So let's get started. So the first thing you'll want to do is have your model on some kind of base. I just use blue tack to put it up on something I just have lying around. Sometimes a shot glass, it's plastic too, or this weird black thing. And next I pull all my colors down on a wet palette. If you don't have one, you can just use a normal paint palette. You can also just use some piece of plastic if you want. But after that, you can put your colors down. If you're not using a wet palette, depending on how you paint the model, you might want to put them one at a time. If you're planning on painting the colors individually, like if you accidentally put white on a part that needs to do another color, you can probably just lay them all out and they'll be fine. Also, if you don't have Vallejo paints, the set is only like $40 for the basic colors, and any kind of matte acrylic paint you have will do. For the blood effects, if you don't have the effects kit, you can just water down a red and put a similar effect. And if you have like some kind of gloss, you can put like a gloss over it. I know it's like nail polish gloss top layers, they sell those. I don't know, if you have that lying around, you could use that. Also, you'll need yellow, red, and black. Didn't mention that. So the first color you'll put on is white. As you can see, I get a pretty big brush for the white. And make sure you prime your model. This isn't 100% necessary, but paint on primer is only $5 from Vallejo. They have like a $5 paint on primer. And you don't have to get Vallejo. They sell primers at Hobby Lobby, Lowe's, and Home Depot. And you can get the Games Workshop ones on their website. Make sure when you're getting like a spray thing, there's nothing enamel. Like it doesn't have enamel on it, written on it. Make sure when you're painting the white, you try not to hit the shell bits, since we will be painting those a different color. And we want to do the whole first coat at once. You might want to use a thinner brush to get into the cracks and crevices like between the legs and claws here. Make sure you paint the head too, just not the top gale bit. You might want to use a smaller brush to get into the smaller areas on the face. So then we can apply the purple on his back shell. This will kind of act as a suit for the Joker in a way. And next you'll want to paint the shell, the top head shell green like for the hair. Now you might have to do a few coats to fully cover up and make sure your paint isn't too thick so you can get an even coverage. You can take your time to make sure there's no overlap, and you can always fix your mistakes. So after this we can do his teeth. That's what the yellow's for, and too cleanly because when we put the red around it you can fix any of your mistakes. After this we can do the claws. This is actually the brown I used. So I did the brown and I stopped. There's let me see if it'll focus. There's a piece right here, this line, and I stopped the brown just like here and forward. And then I'll do the red. I'm gonna mix the red with the brown so that way it's a darker color. As you can see, I made a mess over here. I like to do a gradient from black to red. I sometimes use brown in this part, but you can do whatever you want. My black is a little light, so these don't look as good. And I decided to put in some brown for the middle, then line the edges and tip parts with the red. Sorry that this isn't in camera, it's just easier for me to paint closer to myself. You can't really see it in this lighting, but I did his claws. The tip looked like he collected some blood. So after this we add the blood. And if you don't have the blood effect, don't worry, you can just water down a red to kind of make a wash and use that around the mouth for a cool effect. And if you have some gloss coat, you can put that over it. I'm just gonna put the dry blood in the cracks and then I'll reveal the final thing. This was made in like an hour. So I also like to fill in these broken scaly bit things with the dry blood effect, but you can just mix a red with brown for a similar color. So after that, there are some things you can do for extra, like you can highlight the edges just with a thin brush in a light color, or you can dry brush the edges. Just make sure you only do it on the tips, so the dry brush, you just get your paint. I did the purple first, then the green. Oh, and you will want to use a brush you don't like for this, but just put some paint on it. Rub the paint on a paper towel until the paint is dry and then just brush it over the raised areas of the detail. It will make them pop. You could also do a wash if you want with a black one. Oh, and if you want, you can do the spikes on his tail purple too. With the wash, make sure you're doing it on the white part of the body, because then it'll get into all the recesses in the model and bring the detail. And the ones on his feet in second hands, you can do the same black effect for earlier and do whatever you want for the base. As you can see, I don't particularly care for mine. I have some grass, but I like to use them on my Age of Sigmar army. So here he is, a very simple paint job. It's not like the best thing ever, but it lets me make a whole army in a weekend, so it works for me. And I did add some extra details. So here's the final video. This took less than an hour to paint. He looks okay. He doesn't look like the best model I've ever painted, but it's really just to show you the color scheme. If I dropped him on the floor, great. Back to video. If I were to spend more time on him, I'd definitely put more white coats on before I did anything else. The dry brushing's okay, but I'd probably redo it. Obviously, I just put more effort into his details, because obviously he's not very detailed. He's pretty flat right now. But this is just kind of a quick video to show you how to paint a Joker tyrranid. Again, if you don't have the blood effect, like I said, you can use a wash. I would definitely do these blood spots better. I don't think it wants to focus on them, but I definitely do them better because obviously some parts, and I also went over the edges, but for less than an hour in this video. But if you did like it, make sure that you like and subscribe and leave any comments and video ideas in the comments. And as always, stay cool, stay weird, stay you, and I'll see you next time. Bye.